there are a lot of things that are taboo on the internet. You're gonna have to be specific with that. Oh God, I can't believe that Fourth Wing is still living rent free in my head, even though I hated it so much. But if it leads to stalking, kidnapping, or just like, randomly railing in the middle of an alleyway where other people can see you just to prove a point, then we have issues. What's up, guys? My name is Lou, and these are my books. Today we are filming my subscribers' Bookix, though that is not entirely accurate. So a couple of weeks ago I put out a community post telling all of my subscribers, since I now have a larger following, I do want to start incorporating you guys into my videos. So I put out a community post saying, hey, give me your Bookix. And a couple of people did respond, so I'm actually going to go through all of those today. But I also, in a Discord server that I'm a part of that's about reading in general, I posed the question of what are your biggest Bookix to the community there. And I got permission from all of them, do not worry, to go through to post their little Bookix and stuff like that. And people have some very specific ones. So we're just going to go through all of them today. So we're going to go through the ones for my subscribers first, and then we're going to go into the Discord. So first off is from sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Hody Dog. Bookik, not even including an option for potential readers to see the trigger warnings, actual trigger warnings, not something vague like trigger warning, taboo, because literally what does that even mean? Actually, what does that even mean? I agree with the sentiment that if providing trigger warnings ruins or spoils your story, then maybe you need to write a better story. Sorry, I don't know. And this is coming from somebody who generally doesn't check trigger warnings, but still understands the importance of trigger warnings to ensure the safety of others. Yes, specifically in dark romance books. Dark romance books are this weird kind of beast of things. I remember I made a video on that if you want to go watch it. Dark romance is this weird beast of things where people are quite literally just reading this stuff for the dark aspect of it, which means like the smut, the BDSM, all of that nonsense. But here's the thing, if you're going to read dark romance, it's kind of implied that you should put in trigger warnings because of the dark themes, right? Like the central part of your story, like if it's spoiled by your trigger warnings, truly, you need to get better at writing, because like what the fuck are you doing if your trigger warnings are spoiling your entire book? Because if you're literally making your story around trigger warnings, that's not how you're supposed to do it. No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. And like just in general trigger warnings, like what's a good show? What's a good show that I should talk about? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a lot. Game of Thrones has a lot going on. Like, there is murder, there's attempted rape, there is incest, so much incest. There's so much sex as well. There's so much sex, so much nudity, so much of absolutely everything. Like, really bad things that happen in that show. But again, I'm not sure if they actually have trigger warnings, but it's rated mature for a reason. Because literally, at the end of the first episode, the spoiler, by the way, if you haven't watched it, at the end of the first episode, Jaime Lannister shoves Bran Stark off of a tower, and he's 10. He's a 10-year-old kid. Like, child abuse. Yeah, it's another thing. And then Joffrey. Joffrey is his own trigger warning, but like, we're not talking about him. But Game of Thrones as a whole has a lot going on with it. And like all of the trigger warnings for Game of Thrones should be a thing, because Game of Thrones is a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, trigger warning taboo. What does that even mean? I don't even know. Like, there are a lot of things that are taboo on the internet. You're gonna have to be specific with that. Next post is from Mao08665. Greatest book ick is breaking the fourth wall in a story where you don't expect this to happen. This is my point. This is my thing with writers who make characters that talk directly to the audience. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, I read fiction to be in someone else's head, not to experience what a character experiences. When the MC suddenly starts speaking to the reader as if they're not experiencing things right now, but instead we're writing an autobiography or something this whole time, it pulls me out of the story with the speed of light. If as an author you want to use this style of storytelling, please choose it from the beginning and maintain till the end. Not just drop it on a random page out of nowhere and then forget about it again. For instance, it made me so mad in Holly Black's The Cruel Prince when there was a whole chapter where the MC just goes, I've told the story all wrong. There are things I should have told you, and then gives a few situations from her childhood in points, like it's some notes from her from her university history class. Like, why? See, I remember that from The Cruel Prince, and I remember that just going completely over my head. Like, I wasn't mad about it at all, but I also was just, like, kind of confused, because then she goes to, I was like, what the That's funny, though, but I still get it. Like, just randomly, the character just starts talking to the audience. I'm like, why the fuck are you talking to me? Talk to the people in your world, not me. The fuck? I am not here to have a conversation with the words on a page. I'm here to escape my world that I live in, because it's whack as fuck. Anyways, but yeah, breaking the fourth wall. See, this specifically reminds me of 707 from Mystic Messenger. If you haven't played that game, like, I would recommend it. It's kind of old, but it's one of the really good like otome games or something. But 707, he very frequently breaks the fourth wall. It's a meme in the community. But like I think we didn't mind that too much, because it's literally a game. It's like where you're supposed to interact with the game characters. So breaking the fourth wall isn't exactly surprising, and it's also fitting for the character in and of himself, but in a book.
You cannot be for real. Oh my god, you for real? No, you for fake. No, you for real.
In a book. Like, I just generally hate when the character is talking to the audience. Like, I just generally hate that. But like, if it just happens out of nowhere, that also doesn't really make so much sense. But I think I just enjoyed The Cruel Prince a little too much for me to like have that just like be a sticking point in my brain, because I really actually, like, I don't remember talking about that at all. I don't remember anything of that, actually. I did do a readathon for the Cruel Prince series, so you can see my actual reactions or whatnot. But yeah, random, like, it just comes out of nowhere. It comes out of nowhere like a jump scare. It's funny. Like, truly, bullet point notes from her history class. Oh my god, why am I suddenly thinking of Violet and her little, like, history lesson on the parapet? God. Oh god, I can't believe that Fourth Wing is still living rent free in my head, even though I hated it so much. Oh, this is from the same person. Another ick that makes me want to DNF a book is a strong MC who is in fact just being rude. This is the thing. This is a very interesting thing, because it typically happens in strong female leads. Because, you know, the entire intention is that the strong female lead is supposed to be independent, womanly, I don't know, like, not subservient in any way. Supposed to be the opposite of what all women are typically supposed to be, or something like that. And then, but like, in execution, they're just a bitch. Sometimes an author wants to create a mentally strong MC who can defend themselves in an argument, stand up for themselves, etc., but doesn't really know how to show it, and the character ends up being mean to everyone for no reason. I'm okay with reading about a rude character if the trait is acknowledged and treated as such, not presented as coolness and strength. Yes, I completely and utterly agree with this, because this happens way too often, especially in YA books. Because in YA, it's like these younger characters, specifically like with these characters, they haven't even finished puberty yet. So you would expect them to be kind of rude because they're still learning social situations and whatnot. But, like, seriously, if this is presented as some sort of, like, cool, like, if they're supposed to be, like, cool and stoic and, like, just really strong, I'm just, like, I'm not getting behind it because that's not what it's portraying to me. That's just not how it works. And then they provide a little bullet-pointed list, which I think is so cute. So thank you. Some other book icks. Not like other girls. See, one of my favorite characters has this problem, Selena Sardothien, because, well, no, Selena Sardothien doesn't exactly have this issue. It's not Selena Sardothien, however, it is, Feyre Acheron. Feyre has this issue because it's like she just doesn't wear dresses. Like, the minute, like, I remember in ACOTAR, like the first, like in ACOTAR, once Alice like literally lays out a dress on top of her bed to change her into in the first like when she first makes it to the spring court, she like immediately tries to like throw up and like literally like shifts back. She's like, no, like as if the thing is gonna give her the fucking plague or something. I'm like, what the fuck, girl? It is literally just a heap of fabric. Fixation on virginity concept. This is a thing in like specifically like high fantasy, like with like the Fae and like werewolves or like Omegaverse shit. Yeah, this is specifically an Omegaverse kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure we all hate it because the virginity thing is just like, because it's like what does that have to do with anything? Like, that makes no sense. It makes no sense for this to be your fixation when quite literally it doesn't change the fact that you still want to fuck this girl. Nothing. And it's always the female character. Like, it's always the male character who is obsessed with the female character's virginity. Always. Always. I've never seen it anywhere, like, flipped. I've never seen it anywhere else. Gross. Possessiveness treated as romantic. See, I'm not exactly as mad at this one because, like, I find possessiveness kind of cute, to an extent. Like, there is an extent to possessiveness that I will find, like, adorable. It's kind of just like, oh, adorable. But if it leads to, stalking, kidnapping, or, you know, just, like, you know, randomly railing in the middle of an alleyway where other people can see you just to prove a point, then we have issues. Enemies to lovers when there's no relationship development and building trust in between. Fourth wing. These people were not even enemies. These people, like, literally, they didn't even know each other. They just had that one point of like, oh, well, your mom killed my dad, and she goes, your dad killed my brother, and I'm like, as if those two are comparable at all. And Brendan's not even dead. Like, Brendan's just vibing somewhere else, like a Blackpink reject. But still, relationship development, and like, there's nothing of that. Like, see, that's actually also slightly true within the Cruel Prince series, because like there's like a point in there somewhere where Jude and Cardan just suddenly like start liking each other. Like, there's kind of like no place where that happens, and I think it's mainly because a lot of their true hatred for each other was while they were children. And now that they're, like, older, like, I think puberty exacerbated things or something like that. I don't know. But I think that's just all that happened or whatnot. And then, like, what else? What other enemies to lovers book that have I ever read? I don't think I have. But I think one that does enemies to lovers pretty well is, Akhmov. The way she presents that enemies to lovers scenario is actually very nice because Rhysand was treated as like part of the big bad in the first book. He was treated as kind of like a very shady figure. Feyre obviously didn't trust him very much, but she obviously had to deal with him, so he wasn't going to go away forever. In the second book, she still kind of hates him. And Rhysand is just trying to be like, hey, I come in peace, and she throws a shoe at him. I still remember that. And there are so many memes on that too. But anyway, she just throws a shoe at him because he's like, he's trying to be nice, and she's just like, I don't trust you, toss. But yeah, that one's really funny. But the way the relationship is built, like, obviously you can see why that book is so fucking long. Like, Akimov is so long. You can see why it's so long, because it needed that. Redemption arc, which is not actually redemption, but just trying to justify a character's shit past actions. See, here's the thing. I have very high standards for redemption arcs because I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Zuko's redemption arc is quite literally my sound piece for every redemption arc I see in TV, in television, movies, and books. If your redemption arc does not progress in like the masterful way that Zuko's does, I can't get behind it. I just cannot. I'm okay with Kale because his redemption, he goes from being like kind of like naive little boy that we kind of loved to shit little misogynistic little bitch, whiny little bitch boy. And then he gets a whole book of development, which we needed. That's his entire redemption arc. He gets a girlfriend, he gets development, he heals. It's great. So, like, I'm okay with redemption arcs. But if your redemption arc is quite literally just like, yeah, just them going, yeah, sorry, and then everybody forgives him, I don't see why you even tried. Just like, I don't see why you even tried. And lastly, when a character finds out they're adopted and immediately disowns their adopted family, no matter how good it has been. Yeah, see, I'm a big believer in the concept of found family. Like, even in my real life, I treat my friends as I would treat, like, my family members. And, like, that's not even, and, like, I very heavily believe in the found family kind of thing. Because you earn that. Like, blood does not, in my opinion, blood does not overtake your bond with somebody. Because just because you're blood related to somebody does not mean they get to treat you however they want. Just because you're blood related to somebody does not mean you have to forgive all of their shit actions. And I am in the camp of, like, holding grudges is fine, I'll heal in hell with specific people. I actually actively hate being like that kind of person. I hate being angry with people. I hate being angry in general. I hate holding grudges with people because that's just so much energy that I don't need to expend on people who don't add value to my life. So, like, it's just so, like, I just hate doing that. However, if you continually disrespect me, my family members, people I care for, if you continually disrespect these people, or me, in a way, and you think you will not face consequences from me, because here's the thing. Everyone who knows me genuinely knows that I am not to be fucked with. If you start fucking around with me, I will fuck around with you and you will find out exactly how vindictive I can be. So people try and avoid, like, messing with me, right? Certain family members have not done that, so they fucked around, they found out. But, like, generally, the cutting off your adoptive family just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. There was, however, this Australian show that I watched a while ago. It was called the Elephant Princess, I believe. Yeah, here's the poster for it if you've ever watched it. The Elephant Princess. In, like, the first or second episode or something, like, the main character, she finds out she's adopted, and then she immediately starts, like, preparing to run away from her adopted family, and then actually magics them out of existence. Which is, like, yeah, okay, that's a little bit of an extreme reaction to the people who have loved you and raised you for your entire life, even though her little sister was a little bitch. But anyways, yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense, because they're still your family. They are the only family you've ever known, so I don't see why you would ever try and cut them off, especially if they were really good to you. I don't see why you would do that when they didn't have to be good to you, when they didn't have to take you in. And again, that doesn't mean that she owes them anything. That doesn't mean that, like, you owe your adoptive family anything, because it was their choice to take you in. Regardless of however they treat you, you do not owe them anything. That is something that I think a lot of people don't understand. You do not owe people anything based on how they choose to treat you. You can always be appreciative of their love, but still that does not mean you owe them anything. That doesn't mean that they can demand outrageous things from you. Just a little, like, life lesson from me. But yeah, I just, that's an ick too. Yeah, I find that very icky. Sorry about that tangent. And now let us go into the Discord book icks. And the first one here from Ka is men. Men. Like, I mean, yeah. in certain books, because in a lot of books, like in the straight lacing books, the people like to distinguish, like, authors tend to distinguish, like, our male main character from the other men in the series, using misogyny. Because, specifically in Belladonna, I recently finished that, in Belladonna, so two of the like main men in the series, let's just go, Percy and Elijah Hawthorne, both of them have this kind of thing where they're both, like, very, like, up for women's rights. They're very, like, supportive of women who aren't in the norm of things. Because Elijah, well, his wife just died, he doesn't really exactly care. And also he finds, he sees no point in, like, holding to these things when his daughter is sick, when everything is just, like, so bad for him. So he just doesn't exactly care. And Percy is just like, well, I love my sister, so what not? I love my sister, and, like, she's not a proper lady, so I don't see why I should criticize other people for not being proper ladies either. Right? Right. Like, Elijah's brother, Byron, is very much misogynistic. He actually, like, strikes somebody in the beginning of the book, and then he's always constantly being like, get out of here, girl. He calls our main character Signa girl all of the damn time, and literally orders her around like she's a fucking dog. And Elijah, at one point, he's like, she stays, don't. She stays, you sit. You sit. And he treats him like a dog in and of himself. So it's really funny. But authors like to distinguish the men, like the men you're supposed to like versus the men you're not supposed to like, using misogyny, which is really funny to me. So, and then from Nyx, we get, fantasy-wise, I hate when the female MC who's all-powerful and spends the whole book series learning how to use it, loses it at the very end. Yes! Yes! When you spend all of that time building a magic system for the character that is literally our main focus for the entire damn series, and then you essentially just strip her of her magic at the end for no reason other than normalcy? Why? Why would you ever? Why would you? Could not be me. Can't. Fluffy _frog. Overly predictable plot twists that are so obvious I hurt my eyeballs rolling them so hard. No, see, here's something that's actually kind of funny. Like, in plot twists specifically, so there are books where people will try and make it so where the authors are like being so obvious about the plot twists in the way where it's just like, no, this could never be it. This specific thing could never happen. Nah. And then the whole cast brushes it off consistently. Like, it's constantly brought up and then it's brushed off consistently. Like, that is the most obvious way you can tell that's what's going to be the plot twist. Like, literally, I think one time I was reading a book like that, and I literally rolled my R's so hard, they fell out, and I lost them. Not even, it's like not even a fucking joke at this point. It's actually really sad, because this is an actual writing technique that people use, and I'm like, Hate it, 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 hate every damn second of it. All right, from Akin, the I'm not like other girls, but in a really stupid way. It's so, ugh. Yeah. We already went into the I'm like not other girls kind of thing. Specifically, let's use a different example for this one. In And I Darken, Ladia, I think was her name. Yeah, Ladia. She was literally so aggressively I'm not like other girls that she actually used it to trick people. Like, that's so fucking aggressively. Like, I hated it. I hated it so fucking much. Next, from Ice Cold Mari. I think it's such a cop-out and lazy writing when authors use the miscommunications trope. 9 times out of 10, the trope is used for the dumbest reasons ever and can obviously be resolved with a 5-minute sit-down talk. It's even worse when the characters are supposedly adults, but then pull this kind of stuff. Like, I just cannot deal with adults that have the social emotional skills of a 13-year-old. You know what? And I can't deal with people like IRL who do this either. So, like, I completely understand with you like that. Because it's just like, Jesus effing fucking Christ. How do you not know how to communicate as a literally full-fledged adult? Like, you live on your own. You pay your own bills. You are actively in friendships. You are able to fucking drink. How do you not know how to communicate with other human beings? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Excluding the people who are neurodivergent enough not to pick up on social cues, because that's a completely different thing. But actively, how are you so bad at communication that the person you're supposed to trust the most with your life, you are able to believe some random person over them without positive proof? Like, how does that work? Like, how? Next, from Despair, authors adding unnecessary and badly written conflict. Oh, this conflict thing. Conflict is so the unnecessary badly written conflict is so weird, especially in romance books, because romance books typically don't really have much of a plot. So authors tend to like add a plot near the end of the book to like I don't know, expand their word count or something like that. I have no clue. But like, the badly written conflict is such a cop out to me, because it's literally just like, what is this? This could literally, you could have just taken this out. This does not impact the story in any way possible. Why is this here? It's literally because it feels like a really bad, copy paste to me. That's what it feels like. From Moon, personally, when adults talk like this, I'm sorry, but this is a whole NFL star. She's so pretty and mean and perfect, and this is going to fucking ruin me.
FBI? Him. Come on in! Hurry in!
Can't even take it seriously. Can I even take it seriously? I cannot. That's so ridiculous. What is this? What actually, what is that? I don't understand. I don't understand. What the fuck? She's so pretty and mean and perfect. That's not even right diction. That's not even correct. That's not even correct sentence structure. But that's a whole adult. Right? That's a whole adult. I don't know what book that's from. If anyone knows, tell me in the comments, because like, that's supposed to be a whole adult according to this user. That's supposed to be a whole adult. Last from the Discord, we have from Bunny. I hope it's still okay to answer this, but I hate books with titles like blank of blank and blank, or just anything with filler words or a similar layout. Yes. So specifically, I noticed this specifically a lot in Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, like specifically her From Blood and Ash series. Like those titles are so bad. Like, they're horrible. It's like Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, From Blood and Ash. What else was there? The Crown of Gilded Bones or something like that. I don't, like, all of those titles are so fucking random, and they're just remixes of the same fucking words. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so bad. Like, I feel like book titles should reflect the story that's being told, not just like buzzwords to get people to pick them up. Like, so let's just say, personally, I have a current fan fiction that I'm writing, called Not So Perfect, and essentially, and the title corresponds to the story because it focuses on two people who are, in the eyes of everybody else around them, are perfect people. And then they come together and find out that being perfect is not so, isn't being perfect is overrated anyways. Right? That's the entire point of the story. I haven't finished it. I have only written 2 chapters so far. But, right? The title corresponds to the story. Right? Right. But titles that are just vague and are supposed to like match not even the story it's starting to the story is trying to tell, like I feel like the titles of the story should match the story that's being told. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, not, you should not be using like random ass buzzwords to title your books just to get people to pick them up. That's not how you're supposed to do it. I understand that that's like how things work now, but you're not supposed to be doing that. Drives me nuts. Absolutely drives me nuts. I haven't read them because I have no interest. I literally have no interest in any of those books personally, but like I saw her book titles and I was like, what is going on here? What is this lazy ass marketing? What is this? Because honestly, it just gives lazy. It's giving truly, like, it's giving like repeat pattern. It's giving like, it's giving like 1950s like sewing pattern from like an aged magazine. Like, literally, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's not timeless. It's bad. It's bad. It needs to be thrown right straight the fuck out of a window. Absolutely. And you know what? And even though ACOTAR, like, even though this is one of the most popular books that has this format, like, I understand why it's there. Because here's the thing. Even though ACOTAR has this format, like, it works. Like, it works because it actually corresponds to what's being told. Like, you know what? ACOWAR. There is a war in that book. And it speaks about the wings and all of the things and blah, 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 blah. You know? All of that. It works. Literally. The title cop-out thing with the blank of blank and blank, it's just bad. Hate it. But anyways, guys, that brings this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. I post weekly on this channel, so don't miss out. Also, if you want to see more of my content, leave me comments down below. What you want to see from me, what books I should put on my TBR, books I should move up my TBR. Say hi in the comments, or just tell me what you're reading. Tell me about your books or whatnot. I always get really excited when I see your guys' comments. It makes me so happy and appreciated. Anyways, guys, I love my Lumos. Bye.